Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Pybus Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Come on out to Chelan County Fair. I'm doing my best and I know I'm all over the road. All your friends and neighbors will be there. There'll be cows, there'll be chickens, guitar picking, there'll be plenty of food to be shared. Come on out to Chelan County Fair. Come on out, yo, come on out.
If you stand on your tiptoes, you can see the weekend from here. It's Friday, 25th day of August 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 5-Star Fridays. You know what we do by now. If you follow the show at all, you know Mondays. Uriah and I are here. We work, we don't work real hard. Tuesdays are like Mondays. Wednesdays, we try a little harder. Thursdays, we lean forward just a little bit, trying to give you a decent show. 5-star show on Friday, or double your television viewing pleasure back. Milky, hazy skies once again this morning, just like yesterday, 63 degrees. It's considerably warmer yesterday than it was today than it was this time yesterday. It was pretty cool yesterday. Felt very autumnal. Hit and miss showers in our area. Still some hazy skies. Very warm weekend. Much needed rain is coming our way, especially Tuesday. Yesterday when we visited, the chance of rain on Tuesday was 40%. Now it's 80%. I like that. Could use the rain as we head closer and closer to autumn, but we still got a lot of summer to go. Forecast details coming up. News. It was a very busy day, and not in a good way in the newsroom. We will have your headlines. Mariners had yesterday off. Royals are in town. That's good, because the Royals aren't very good. And of course, the Mariners are not only right in the thick of the wild card race, they're right in the thick of the American League West division race. We want to win our division. We want to make the playoffs. You can't win the World Series unless you're in the playoffs. As long as we make the playoffs, I'm happy. I'll take a division title any day of the week. And also, we're just 1 week away. 1 week from today, high school football begins. We'll talk to Coach Michael Don of the Eastmont Wildcats and Coach Scott Devereaux of the Wenatchee Panthers when we get to sports. And James Pumphrey will be joining me in the back half of the program, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. We like to check in with James every once in a while, find out what that great organization is doing. We will do exactly that between 7:30 and 8 or whatever. There goes the 5-star show. Let's go ahead and take our tour around the valley. We could see some rain this morning. There's a very weak frontal system. It's already beginning to kind of fall apart. But if you're curious about where the rain may come, look to the south. But we have a chance of an isolated, scattered shower, maybe some thunderstorms to the north of us and at the very crest of the Cascades, basically between Stevens Pass and Snoqualmie Pass. They have a chance of an isolated thunderstorm. Probably not here, and if we get any rain, it will be this morning. Again, we have everything that the National Weather Service thinks is pertinent to pass along to you, but you can see the haze and the smoke from our Wenatchee Heights camera. The Lake Wenatchee camera way up top Nantipoc Ridge is a spectacular view. And again, they have a wildfire there. It's not contained at all. It's bringing in the heavy timber, 0% containment, but it's not really doing anything. It's just kind of sitting there, and they're going to let it sit there. It's not burning towards any kind of cabins or anything like that, but it's giving the Lake Wenatchee area quite a bit of haze and smoke hanging over that area, as you can see from the very top of Nantipoc Ridge. McNeil Canyon is going to give us a pretty hazy view, kind of Lake Chelan. I guess you can make out the lake a little bit. Again, fires are still burning up in the Orville area in British Columbia. So then there's no real place for it to go. But as this weak frontal system passes through, it's going to scour out the skies a little bit. We'll have fairly clean skies by Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be hot too, but the haze is probably going to be done by the end of the day today if this forecast pans out. And speaking of haze, way up top of Billy Goat we go. Hello, Pateros and Brewster and Bridgeport. Alta Lake in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And again, they're much closer to the Canadian wildfires than we are. Therefore, hazier, dirtier skies up the Omak-Okanagan way. Still a spectacular view, though, any way you look at it. As far as chances of rain, I'm liking this. We have in the Wenatchee Valley about a 40% chance of showers, but that 40% is going to get less and less likely as we get deeper in the day. If we get any rain today, it will be in the morning hours by 1 or 2. Our chance of rain goes away. In fact, we'll see some clearing skies. Again, just look to the south. That is where this weak frontal system is coming from. But again, it's already beginning to dissipate and fall apart after giving Yakima and Toppenish and some of the areas down south. They got a little bit of light rain. It's kind of petering out as we speak. But again, in the Cascades, there is a possibility of an isolated thunderstorm. So we can't rule that out. Hopefully no fire starts. Don't want that. From the National Weather Service, here we go. 83 today, which is just about normal. Our normal high is 84. By the way, yesterday's high, Thursday, we got to 81. So we've now had 6 consecutive days with our afternoon high below normal. Well, we're going to be at normal, or right around there today, and then we're going to be well above normal. We're going to start climbing up the ladder. No real haze in the forecast for Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, just hot temperatures, 91 to 94 to 96. And then Monday night, here comes the next system that's going to give us some much-needed rain. Overnight, Monday night into Tuesday, we have about a 50% chance of rain. The clouds will begin to roll in. Tuesday, cloudy all day, and some light rain. It's going to be mild, 83, but an 80% chance of precipitation. We will take that. Chance of rain on Tuesday night goes down to 50%. We have a 40% chance of rain on Wednesday. Back to the sunshine and cooler temperatures on Thursday. Hopefully a nice, long, steady, not powerful rain, not a heavy rain. We don't want that. But a nice, steady rain event all day Tuesday would be just fine by me. It'll do everything we need. Clean out the skies, dampen down the fires, and give us rain because we need it. Going to take a break, then we'll have your headlines on this Friday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Yeah, it is a bit hazy. It is 63 degrees. We'll be about 20 degrees warmer for the afternoon high, right around 83. There is a chance of some morning precipitation today. The deeper into the day we go, that chance of rain goes down quite a bit. Sunny and hot. this weekend and some rain in the forecast Monday night and Tuesday. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A Burlington Northern Santa Fe cargo train struck and killed a pedestrian yesterday in downtown Kashmir. The accident happening just before noon. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says the victim, an adult female, was pronounced dead at the scene. That person has yet to be publicly identified. The eastbound train came to a full stop after the collision, and that means multiple intersections were blocked in Kashmir. Deputies had to tape off an area where the collision took place and surrounded the former BNSF Depot building between North Division and Maple Street. The town of Kashmir, of course, is divided in half by that rail line. All the traffic crossings remain closed for about 3 hours after the accident. The accident itself remains under investigation. A structure fire in the Manson area destroyed a family's residential trailer, and the firefighters who helped put it out are now trying to save the day twice. The trailer on Roses Avenue caught fire shortly after 9 a.m. yesterday, displaced a family of 7. All the residents were able to get out, some of them with minor injuries. When the Manson Volunteer Fire Association learned that one girl in the family was about to celebrate her quinceañera this weekend, they chipped in and donated $500, and you can too. Just look at that QR code that you saw on your screen there, and you can make a donation through your phone. And if that's not an option, by the way, you can just drop off your contribution at the Manson Fire Station, payable to the Roses Fire Assistance Fund. The cause of the fire, by the way, has yet to be determined. A semi-tractor hauling wine grapes wound up fully overturned on Wednesday. This happened just north of the town of George. According to the Grand County Sheriff's Office, the vehicle appeared to be traveling too fast to make a curve on Road 1 Northwest, toppled onto its top just west of Beverly Burke Road. 2 men were trapped in the cab. They had to be extricated by firefighters with Grant County Fire District Number 3. One of the 2 occupants was taken by air ambulance to Confluence Health Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. The other was treated at the Quincy Valley Medical Center. The Wenatchee Valley Masawa Sister City organization, they're seeking families who want to host students when they come to pay us a visit in a couple of months here in the Wenatchee Valley. This October, of course, will commemorate the 92nd anniversary of the famous nonstop Trans-Pacific flight from Masawa to East Wenatchee. The mission of the association to promote cultural exchange between the cities, and what better way to do that than open your home to a Japanese student delegate and help them to experience what we do here in the Wenatchee Valley firsthand. Interested individuals are asked to message the WVMSCA directly through their Facebook account for more information. The delegation for the Wenatchee Valley is actually in Masawa as we speak, including Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz and East Wenatchee Mayor Jerry Crawford. They're in Masawa, enjoying themselves, I'm sure. And that's what's making news. At 12 minutes after the hour, we'll wrap up the weekend news with today's news. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on television, available on our YouTube page, on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and also available on our Facebook page as well. We'll get it up and running right around 5 o'clock, so you can watch the news whenever you darn well want to watch the news. And right down there at the bottom of your screen is how you get a hold of us. Drop us a note via the Messenger app on Facebook or send us an email. news@ncwlife.com. Heading into the home stretch for the Seattle Mariners. Of course, the Seahawks still have a game to play that doesn't count tomorrow morning in Wisconsin, and high school football is almost here. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Quarter after the hour, Mariners back in the Emerald City, 8-2 on their 10-game road trip, and who'd have thunk it? I mean, on July 25th, the Mariners weren't in playoff contention. Now it's August 25th, and the Mariners are in the battle for the top spot in the division as they head into the weekend. Bryce Miller will toss the ball tonight. The Royals will go with Brady Singer. Game time at T-Mobile Park, 7:10. You have to subscribe to Apple Plus TV to watch the game, which sucks because I don't have that. The Mariners were able to move within a game of Texas in the American League West last night. Rangers can't get out of their own way. They've lost 7 in a row. The Twins knocking off the Rangers 7-5. Meanwhile, Seattle watched Houston get pummeled by the Red Sox 17-1. So they are now in a second-place tie in the division. We like that. Oakland beat the White Sox, by the way, for those of you who care, 8-5. So the Mariners and the Astros, they are tied for the second wildcard playoff spot as of this morning. There's 6 games behind Tampa Bay. Rays knocked off the Rockies last night, by the way, 5-3. Toronto dropped to a game and a half back after a 5-3 loss to the Orioles. The Nationals edged my Yankees to hand my Yankees their 10th loss in the last 11 games. The Yankees are now 10 games behind the Mariners and the Astros. Jamal Adams activated off the physically unable to perform the PUP list yesterday at Seahawks training camp. He's been out since the first game last year. Remember that? He tore a tendon in his quadriceps. Coach Pete Carroll says this was a big day for the team.
It's a good step for him, good stage as he's preparing to get back. You know, we look at these weeks, they go by quickly now, and if he would continue to stay on PUP, he wouldn't be able to get any of our football work. So he'll jump into the routine like we've been doing with our guys about walkthroughs and things like that, so that he can start to break the huddle with the fellas and make the calls and get aligned and make the adjustments and all that, and get his mind rolling in that direction. There's no other way to do it. So this is a good time for him to pop back. He's ready to go. He's working really hard. Yeah, again, I tell you guys, if you watched him work out, you would never know there's anything wrong. But he's still trying to make his strengths and get everything up to max. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it perfectly. We're going to wait it out and make sure that we really take care of him.
Seahawks leaving for Green Bay a little bit later on today. Do they stay in Green Bay or do they stay in Milwaukee? I don't know, actually. They have a game, of course, tomorrow morning against the Packers. Coach Pete Carroll says the battle of the secondary continues. A number of players rotating in and out at cornerback.
Because we have enough depth, and the different guys that are moving through there are well equipped, and so you know, it's been kind of fluid so far. I'm fine with it. You're going to see Tariq's going to be going with the ones, you know, the next couple of weeks and solidly in there, and then we'll see how that goes. But Michael and Trey have done a fantastic job, so they deserve to play also. So we're working it out, and it's a good situation, surely.
Seahawks surprised a lot of experts last year. They went 9-8. They made the playoffs. Coach Pete Carroll says, obviously, we want to pick up where we left off.
All being football guys and football players, every year when you come back, it's a new life. You know, it's like a whole life starts all over again. And we clicked into that mode coming out of last season with a really good feeling about the future. The players that have been with us and the guys that lead us and speak for us, they felt strongly that we were on the move. And maybe it was because there was, you know, some unexpected success last year, and okay, now we can build on that and go. Yeah, I don't know if I like all that, but whatever the reason is, attitude has been really on it. I mean, I've said to you guys 100 times now about this group, their mentality, their approach to the game, how they're looking at it, what they bring every day. The attitude and the mentality is so powerful because right now, attitude's everything. And so I just think it fits. And a few guys that we brought in that brought excitement, I think, and another draft class that's really an upbeat, flying around, making big impressions, on the rest of the team, adds to it. Their coaches are really pumped up about them, and keeps getting all fired up every day, and it's not hard to do that because of who they are. I mean, everything about it is on the ups. Now we got to go get going. We got to finish this thing off and then go get our game to start the thing off against the Rams and get the season underway.
Seahawks and Packers, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Saturday morning professional football. I don't know. Anyway, on King 5. 1 week from today, high school football gets going. In our area, the Eastmont Wildcats, as their schedule, they have a daunting schedule. They only have 3 games that they're going to play at their own home stadium. But Coach Michael Don has other things going on. He and his wife are going to have their very first baby today. Congratulations, Coach Don. He says he'll be splitting time between the team and his family.
Thank goodness. I usually don't take a lot of days off, so I got a lot of sick days saved up. So I'll be taking Fridays off through the season from school to be at home with my wife, and then I'll be taking some mornings off early right after we have our little girl, and to be home and help her out. And I'm lucky I got a student teacher this fall who happens to be one of our football coaches, so that makes it really easy. He's already been involved in the weight room. He knows what we do. He knows the kids, so the kids will kind of take that and run with it, and that'll be a seamless transition for us.
Okay, I got to ask you, since you knew a girl beforehand, then did you have the whole gender reveal thing?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
And how did that go?
I knew it was coming. My mom had all boys, and so my brothers have had girls so far, and I just kind of assumed it was in the cards. So, little girl it is.
Exploding pink balloon, or what was the reveal?
A little cannon thing. Scared the heck out of our dogs. Dogs took off running. They didn't like it.
Congratulations to Coach Don. As far as the Wenatchee Panthers, they get going 1 week from tonight. They'll be hosting Skyline. We'll have that game from Leap-Off the Field at the Apple Bowl, right here on the NCW Life Channel. Sports Director Eric Grandstrom talked to Coach Scott Devereaux. He actually asked some pretty tough questions. Coach Devereaux entering his 20th year at the helm.
Your son is a senior. You wanted to coach him through his school. Is this it for you, or is this just another season, let's play ball and let's worry about that later?
Number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, my focus is entirely on these kids right here, right now. Season gets over, I always evaluate where I'm at, how I feel, what my gut tells me. Talk to a couple of my buddies and find out, but I make that decision after the season. I don't even think about it right now.
Okay, now we've got Brandon Harley that's going to join us in the booth for calling, being an analyst.
Never heard of him.
For some of these games. So what's a scoop on Harley that we need to know about?
Oh, I got a lot of stuff on him. But the problem is he has 3 times as much on me.
Oh, well, see, then we're hoping maybe he divulges some of that during the broadcast.
No. Here, a lot of people don't understand with Brandon. The guy's extremely smart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, extremely smart. He's one of those guys that can be on Jeopardy, and I can't spell Jeopardy. So
yeah, the E and the O throw me off.
Yeah. And the I-E-Y.
Right.
So offense, defense, special teams, he has a great understanding of the game of football, and you can throw any question you want.
Looking forward to doing that game. In fact, here is our broadcast schedule for football this year. It all begins 1 week from today. We'll be at Leap-Off the Field of the Apple Bowl, Skyline and the Panthers. It continues September 15th with the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. That's right, the first league game of the year between Eastmont and Wenatchee is the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. That'll be at Leap-Off the Field of the Apple Bowl. Eastmont is scheduled to host the Davis Pirates on September 22nd for a homecoming, but Eastmont's stadium, Wildcat Stadium, may not be ready yet. They're doing some improvements to Wildcat Stadium. We will have to see on that. Both Eastmont and Wenatchee are out of town on October 13th, so we're going to head on up to Cashmere. We'll do the Bulldogs and the OMAC Pioneers, and you can go to our website to see the entire schedule. Fair enough? Wow, summer's almost gone. Those are just some of the games that people are playing at 23 minutes after the hour. For the obscure holiday, I could have chosen National Park Service Founders Day, National Whiskey Sour Day. Not a big fan of that. National Kiss and Make-up Day. It's National Secondhand Wardrobe Day. But today we're going with the banana splits. Tra-la-la-la-la. Love the banana splits. Been trying to get the banana splits inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Flegel, Bingo, Drooper, and Snork. Great musicians, all the Tra-la-la song. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4, 5 bananas make a bunch of soda. We're actually talking about the food. The banana split. There it is. 3 scoops of ice cream, fudge, whipped cream, banana, a couple of cherries. It's National Banana Split Day today. It was not created in an ice cream parlor. It was created in a pharmacy. Some apprentice working in the pharmacy soda fountain just decided to make it up one day, the banana split. And they charged 10 cents for a banana split, which is twice as much as a regular hot fudge sundae. Didn't matter. The kids loved it anyway. And it was a big money maker. It's a classic. The banana split, as are the banana splits. Love that show. Love that show. Ta-la-la-la-la-la. I always wanted one of them banana split cars that they drove around in little buggies. Big fan of Flegel. La 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 la. 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 148 years ago today, August 25th, 1878, Captain Matthew Webb becomes the first person ever to swim the English Channel. And he swam the narrowest possible part of the English Channel that he could. It's only 22 miles from Calais, France to Dover, England. That's the narrowest part of the English Channel, only 22 miles. But he had to swim 40 miles to do it because of the currents. It's pretty dramatic change in the tides and the currents there, so he actually had to zigzag his way from Dover, England to Calais, France. So he actually swam 40 miles, even though it's only 22 miles. Not surprisingly, he became an international celebrity, became the very first well-known professional swimmer. That's what he did. He got paid to swim. You don't see that too often, certainly not in 1875. Unfortunately for Captain Matthew Webb, 8 years later, he says, I'm going to do something else really cool. It's going to get the world's attention. I'm going to swim the Niagara River at the very bottom of the Niagara Falls, right through the whirlpools from the United States to Canada. Watch me do that, says Captain Webb. Just should have stuck with the English Channel, not bother with Niagara Falls. 79 years ago today, Paris is liberated by the Allies. It wasn't high on Eisenhower's list. He didn't want to do it. None of his commanders wanted to do it. They said, no, we got the Germans going in this direction. Let's just keep doing it. We're pushing them hard after Operation Overlord and Normandy. We got them on the run. Let's go. They were just going to bypass Paris, but Charles de Gaulle said, nah, you got to come liberate Paris. Charles de Gaulle was worried that if the Allies liberated Paris, that they would simply take over Paris. And he goes, no, the Free French will take care of that. So even though it wasn't in their plan, they took a right-hand turn, went down there, liberated Paris. The Germans surrendered. The German high command wanted Paris destroyed. If Paris was in any danger of falling to the Allies, Hitler's instructions were simple: destroy the entire town. The guy said, I ain't going to do that. It's Paris. Paris is liberated. Oh, by the way, Romania quit the war, too, on the same day. Smart move. 78 years ago today, August 25th, 1945, 10 days after Japan surrendered and the war came to an end, armed supporters of the Chinese Communist Party kill a U.S. intelligence officer by the name of John Birch. For those on the American right, they consider John Birch the first casualty of World War III, the first victim of the Cold War. And so the John Birch Society gets its name from Lieutenant John Birch. The man who knew him best was James Doolittle, Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle, who said if he had any idea that this far right-wing organization was going to name their organization after him, he would not approve. He said that wasn't exactly lined up with his political views, but the John Birch Society, so to speak, had its birth after John Birch was killed 10 days after the end of World War II. It was launched in 1977. And it's still up there. On August 25th, 2012, 11 years ago today, Voyager 1, 35 years after it launched, passed by the last planet and headed into interstellar space. It's still out there. It is the farthest man-made object ever. It's 14 billion miles from Earth right now. It's still going. It's the most distant man-made object ever from Earth. It's still out there. They check in with it every once in a while. They say in a couple of years, in 2025 or so, the batteries will simply run out and they won't be able to contact it anymore. But it's still out there, Lord knows where. But it entered interstellar space and it's still going and strong out there somewhere, Voyager 1. That's a success story in the world of our space program. It's the bottom of the hour. 3 heavenly birthdays. Leonard Bernstein, the American composer, conductor, of course, of the New York Philharmonic, brought classical music to the masses with all kinds of television shows instructing kids on how awesome classical music is. He put on the Young People's Concerts and got a whole generation, multiple generations of children interested in classical music and classical instruments. Terribly, terribly influential. And of course, he also wrote the music to West Side Story. That didn't hurt. New movie out on Leonard Bernstein, born in the state in 1918, died in 1990 at the age of 72. We lost Sean Connery 3 years ago at the age of 90, born in the state in 1930. Of course, he was the first actor to portray James Bond. He made, how many James Bond movies did he make? 7 of them. He made 6 in a row or something like that. And then, of course, he made another James Bond movie in the 80s. He also won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in The Untouchables back in 1988. The late, great Sean Connery, born 93 years ago today. Regis Philbin, born 92 years ago today. We lost Regis a couple of years ago at the age of 88. Regis Philbin holds the Guinness Book of World Records record for most hours on U.S. television. But I'm coming after you, Regis. Regis Philbin, born in the state in 1931. The great Tom Skerritt lives in Seattle and Lopez Island. Spends his winters in Seattle, has a place in Lopez Island. The great actor, of course, Picket Fences, MASH, A River Runs Through It, Top Gun, Alien. He was in the first Alien. Remember, he was the captain of the ship, Tom Skerritt. A certain producer here at the NCAA channel actually met Tom Skerritt once. I think it was at a Seahawks game. I can't remember. Tom Skerritt is 90 years old today. Raleigh Fingers is 77, one of the few baseball players to have his number retired by 2 different teams. Of course, the Oakland A's, which he won 3 world championships with, and the Milwaukee Brewers. He's in the Hall of Fame. After his contract ran out with the Milwaukee Brewers in 1986, he was invited to the Cincinnati Reds spring training camp, and he made the team as a reliever, but the Cincinnati Reds in 1986 had a strict no facial hair policy. They said you have to shave your trademark handlebar mustache, and Raleigh Fingers said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to retire instead. Raleigh Fingers is 77 years old today. Happy birthday to Chaim Wetzel. Chaim Wetzel, 74 years old today. You may know him as Gene Simmons. He was born Chaim in Wetzel in Israel 74 years ago today. And the great American success story, Rachel Ray. She got hired by a supermarket in Albany, New York, to set up a little kitchen in the produce and meat aisle and to teach shoppers as they were doing their grocery shopping how to make a meal in 30 minutes. A producer for the local CBS affiliate in Albany, New York, watched her do this one day, said, you're pretty good. You want to come on TV? So she went on the local TV station in Albany, and then CBS got, they're pretty good. Then she signed with NBC's Today Show, and now she has cookbooks and her own show and all that stuff, all because she was hired by a little supermarket to set up a kitchen and teach people how to make a meal for a family of 4 in half an hour. And now she's a gazillionaire. She's 55 years old today. I think is the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. You got to find out, catch up with these guys, find out what they're doing. Turns out they're doing pretty good. James will be joining me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem today.
A break from reality. Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. They have the perfect hot tub for any space and any budget, including saltwater hot tubs for the absolute best ownership experience. Find free-flow plug-and-play spas that make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. Tropatone furniture to complete your patio. Make summer a splash with a high-quality, easy-to-set-up above-ground pool with pumps and filters from Central Washington Water, your water experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease. And encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas casino.
Caught in a conflict? Family? An efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, some people like to point out things that they feel are indicators of our downfall as a society. Things like the things that people think are indicators that are with us, do we have to accumulate so much stuff in our lives that first we need to totally negate the purpose of a garage and then have to leave our cars parked outside, but then we actually have to rent a space that a third world family would consider large enough as a 2-bedroom home in order to store stuff we aren't even using anymore. Now look, eventually your stuff is probably going to be featured on Storage Unit Wars, where some hillbilly has paid $250 to claim the stuff you thought was priceless and had to be saved. And to pay a monthly fee to do it. Oh my gosh. All right, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my...
Don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free.
Harvest Valley Pest Control.
encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Continental Surf Cup at Lakeside Surf. Oh my gosh. Surf Cup.
Director of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, James Pumphrey. He's now settled into his job. And so we thought we'd bring James in to get us a quick little update from the top on down on how the Humane Society is doing. And by golly, James is here. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
I think the last time you and I talked, it was like in February or March. We sat out in the parking lot of the Humane Society. It was pretty cold that day.
Pretty cold, yes.
Yeah. And you had moved up from Nevada.
Las Vegas,
yeah, so you weren't quite used to that.
No.
So,
Yeah.
all settled in, everything cool?
All settled in and enjoying the area.
Yeah, animals get the transition, the animals that you brought with you? And
Yes, I have 2 dogs,
Right.
so they're both enjoying the trails and going to the river, and I have an Airedale as one of my dogs, and he's very much enjoying hiking and going swimming.
And my guess is, knowing you use the proper etiquette when you go hiking with your dogs on the trails, because I know a lot of people don't. In the foothills or down along the river, their dog's not on a leash and the dog runs off, and you see that a lot.
You do, yeah, and I think there's good options like long lines, and then always practicing recall is so key. So
and cleaning up after your dog.
Cleaning up.
You know, this is all common sense stuff. But so you're settled in, and so how are things as we transition from late summer into fall? Do you guys have busy times and quiet times, or is it always just a certain level of busyness?
We do have busy times, definitely season dependent. So during the summer and spring is breeding season for cats and dogs, and we get a lot of orphaned kittens in during the summer, and that's starting to wind down, we hope, fingers crossed. But that is our busiest time in terms of it's all hands on deck to make sure that we have good outcomes for kittens that really need us. I mean, the Humane Society exists to provide a safe haven for sick and injured animals.
What is the? I'm sorry, I should know this. What is the gestation period for a pregnant cat? How long from conception to birth?
For conception to birth, oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot.
I should know this too. It's not very long.
It's not very long. It's a short period of time, and a couple months would be. I would have to double check that. I can't think of that right off the top of my head, but I think it's a couple months. I think 2 months is.
And then the babies
accurate.
come.
The babies come, and then mom can reproduce really quickly, and actually cats can start to breed at 4 months of age. So even they may be looking like they're kittens, but they actually can reproduce, and that's why spay and neuter is so key and important.
And we were talking about this while we were preparing for the interview. The number of feral cats in the valley under your jurisdiction, for lack of a better term, is huge. I mean, nobody can really put their finger on it, but you have a general idea.
Yeah, we estimate it based on human populations, and cats have existed in the valley as long as humans have existed in the valley. We introduced them, and now they are an invasive species. About half of them are probably owned, and then another half of them are unowned or loosely owned, and they are probably around 30 to 50,000 cats that live in Chelan and Douglas County total. We call them community cats because it encompasses the full spectrum spectrum of sociability of cats. So those that are considered feral or not social, and those that are maybe being fed by a few people within their community. And we best support them by spaying and neutering them and vaccinating them to stabilize those populations, knowing that the 30 to 50,000 cats can't be absorbed by the Humane Society itself. We can help support and mitigate that problem, though.
And the idea is to keep it at that number as much as you possibly can. Keep it at that number,
and then over time start to see a decrease. So the more we're able to stabilize, even street by street by street, and then focusing on targeting our spay-neuter efforts to a specific area. Because cats are actually, they'll stay in their little regions, similar to other wildlife. Though they're not wildlife, they do act in a very similar way.
And of course, cats are cats. They're gonna find a way to survive, unlike, say, dogs, which are much more dependent on human interaction than cats. Cats can do their own thing and
Correct. Yeah, recent study was done, and the DNAs of cats actually have not changed that much from their wild cousins, unlike dogs, which have dramatically changed. National Geographic did a study on that, and that's why cats are so adaptable. They're able to transition, and that's why we have so many. That's why we got 30 to 50,000 cats, and we see that all across the country, that cat populations are actually increasing in terms of coming into shelters, whereas dog populations are decreasing. So more spay and neuter, more vaccination, more proactive mitigation techniques is needed if we're going to solve this problem. We're not going to adopt our way out of it.
And there was also a significant problem during the height of COVID, and we talked about this with James back in March. It was actually a two-pronged problem. There were people who simply couldn't afford their pet anymore because they weren't working and they were barely able to make ends meet, so boom, down to the Humane Society, or they were moving away and just leaving their cat behind. They were mostly taking their dogs with them if they could, but they were just moving out of their apartment or their house and just good luck, Fluffy.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of the animal problems are downstream from human problems. So when we see economic situations impact humans, it also impacts companion animals. And the other aspect with COVID that we saw was that spay-neuter actually flatlined. We were prevented from doing unnecessary surgeries, and spay-neuter fell into what that was considered to be unnecessary surgeries. And then the cost of all the materials coming out of the pandemic tripled for the veterinary community. We saw the expense from suture materials to the drugs themselves, become less available, but also the pricing triple in many areas. So compounded the problem significantly.
When somebody comes into the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we invite everybody to do, because this is all, we're all in this together when it comes to taking care of our four-legged friends. How do you know that this dog or cat is a good fit for this particular family? And I'm using the term family because that's usually the case. I've been in there many times. It's usually mom, dad, and a couple of kids looking to adopt a cat or a dog. How do you know it's the right fit? This animal is going to be the right fit for this household. Is there just a general?
We don't fully know. I mean, the behavior for any animal in a shelter environment is going to be different than home environment, and animals are individuals, so their behavior changes over time. That said, we do get an idea on intake. We do an evaluation. We also, if they're a stray dog, within 72 hours, we do a behavior evaluation within the facility. And we get a pretty good idea of what their go-tos might be, but not have a full understanding of their full personalities. We also do play groups all day throughout the day for all of our dogs, so we get an understanding of how they interact with other dogs and how they interact with human beings. So we get a general profile, but we don't know the in-depth personality until, really that's, the first 3 weeks are pretty telling in a home, and then the next 3 months are pretty telling in the home. But we get a pretty good idea of, is this an energetic dog? Is this a dog that really enjoys other dogs? Is this a dog that might be afraid of new places and new people? And that's pretty informative.
And of course, when you go into the Humane Society with a couple of 7-year-old kids, they're going to fall in love with the first thing that comes out because they're kids.
Yes.
You know, they're going to want that cat or that dog. They're going to shop around. Maybe have mom and dad go in first and leave the kids maybe away from that so they can make a more informed decision without getting the kids going, oh, let's get the dog.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. And then, you know, the first impressions are really key for dogs too. If the dog's going to be outgoing and handle that first initial meet really well, then they're probably going to be more adaptable to a busy household with children. Whereas a dog that might be a little more reserved might not be the best fit for a home that's really busy and bustling.
So just you do your homework. And by the way, the Humane Society, if it's for adoption, it's on the website, and they've already done, as you mentioned before, if it's a dog or a cat that was turned in, specifically a dog, cats are cats, you turn in a dog, and the dog was pre-owned by somebody for 4 or 5 years. They know the personality of the dog. You don't have to do a lot of work. Correct. It's the strays that you have to bring your professionals in, and they're good.
Yes.
By the way, your behavioral people who figure out exactly what kind of dog you're dealing with, personality. They're all on the website. You can do all your homework in advance. This dog is going to need a yard, or this dog is a quiet dog that can't be around any other dogs, or has to be the only pet. All of that homework you guys have done in advance, which saves your prospective patrons a great deal of time, doesn't it?
Yeah, we have all of our animals available on our website, and they all have profiles that give a general understanding of the best of our knowledge what this dog is or this cat is looking for and what their needs are. Certainly if they're an animal that's been owned previously, we have a more detailed history, but we have those profiles to enable people with information as to, hey, I'm good with other dogs, or hey, I might be better with a dog-only home.
How about enforcement? Let's talk about the bad part of it. The enforcement. I mean, there are city codes out there about taking care of animals. How's that part of it? The people who drive around in the white truck with the bed in the back that have to do things that aren't particularly pleasant.
Yeah, our animal care and control officers, we're really pleased to be able to have that mechanism to be able to not only enforce but to educate and provide resources. Always looking for options for, you know, if an individual needs food, how we can best support them, or their dog might be getting out, how we can help them resolve that issue. What's the underlying reason that the dog might be getting out. Busy times during the summer for sure, looking for having a lot of dogs running loose, so that's an ongoing issue, and a lot of bite investigations that we're dealing with currently. So making sure that individuals are keeping their dogs on their property, and that if your dog does have issues with new people and might be more fearful or aggressive towards new people, to make sure that you're taking appropriate steps to keep people and your dog safe.
One of the things you will notice when you visit the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and you should visit your Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, is the people there seem to really know what they're doing, and they seem to like it. I've noticed that when I go into your fine organization on the campus. They all seem to know what they're doing. They seem to really like their jobs.
Yeah, we have our behavior team, or they're world renowned, really. I mean, they are experts when it comes to shelter behavior, and our animal care team are committed to providing enrichment and thoughtful care to the animals that come into our facility, often scared. So winning those animals' trust over is really key, and that really is a rewarding job, to be able to take animals that are, hey, I'm coming into this new place and I'm really scared, and seeing them transform is really fulfilling. And our adoption staff, they're able to make those connections. That really is a rewarding experience. So we are very pleased about our team and the commitment that they show.
Yeah, I oftentimes refer to it as animal jail. It's not their fault they're there. They didn't do anything wrong, but there they are. One last question before we cut you loose. This is going to be a two-part conversation. In a little bit, we're going to talk about the big gala on September 23rd, the big fundraiser. Outside of that gala, how do the viewers of this program and the people of the Wenatchee Valley help out the Humane Society in a general way, food, volunteer time, dog walking, I'm sorry, my good friend Patty does this, and I forgot what it is, when she takes in a dog or a cat for a short time and then it goes back into the system. What's that called?
Foster care.
Thank you. Real blank there. Talk about all the stuff that we can do to help you guys out.
As a life-saving shelter, it's really key that we work with our community to provide a safety net for animals, and that's impossible work without our community volunteering their time by walking dogs, by answering phones and doing those adoptions, but also by opening their homes and fostering animals. Also becoming a monthly donor. $5-10 makes a huge difference in the lives of animals. $5 is a deworming, $10 is a vaccine. Those are life-saving treatments, and so that $5-10 monthly donation is saving an animal's life. So that's key. Also being a good supporter of the Humane Society. When you see an animal that catches your eye, share it on social media, and you never know that one of your friends or family might be looking for a dog, and just by sharing that post allows them to look at a dog that might get overlooked otherwise. So.
Yeah, again, dogs and cats, they're in James's facility through no fault of their own. Yeah. Let's just put it that way, and there's no reason for us to take care of them. James Pumphrey, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, let's make this a regular get-together, all right?
That would be great.
Are you cool with that?
Yes.
Good, all right, I appreciate it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
All right, getting ready to wrap up another week's worth of Wake Up Wenatchee Valleys here on the NCB Life channel. I am Dan Kuntz. The temperature has not moved at all. In the hour since this show began at 7 o'clock, it was 63 degrees an hour ago, and it's still 63 degrees. And that frontal system that's coming up directly from the south is starting to lose a little momentum. It looked like it was going to maybe give us some much needed rain in the overnight hours, but that chance begins to lessen as the day progresses. Yakima got a little bit of rain. Wapato, Toppenish, down in the Tri-Cities. It kind of hit and miss here for the Wenatchee Valley, but it is hazy, and we do have a couple minutes, so we thought we'd take you around the valley and North Central Washington one more time with our Sky 5 PTZ cameras. Now, it looks like Uriah has mixed them up a little bit. So I don't know what he's going to show up. That looks to be San Diego. Is that San Diego, California? That is, I'm told. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's Jump Off Ridge. That's Jump Off Ridge. Beautiful view there in the Three Lakes area and the Stemilt Basin to your left. Hello, East Wenatchee, with that super high camera. It gives you an idea of how hazy it is. Let's see what else your eye wants to look at this morning. Well, that's obviously San Diego. You can't miss that one. I'm sorry, it's not. No, okay, that's the Waterville camera. Waterville camera pointed down to the Wenatchee Valley, and there's those clouds I'm talking about. So everything is coming to the south. If you want to know if we're going to get a little bit of rain, just look to the south. That's where the system is coming from, and it looks kind of ominous there. But right now, we're pretty dry in the Wenatchee Valley. I don't care. We need the rain. Camera 3. That is the lower butte, so up to Lake Chelan we go. Again, a few high clouds, some haze from the area wildfires. Outside of that, things are looking pretty calm at Lake Chelan. That place, of course, will be hopping next weekend for Labor Day weekend, although it's too far out to let you know what the forecast is going to be for the 3-day weekend next weekend as we welcome September. And finally, camera 4. Now there is some haze, indeed. Although don't know what camera we're using there. That's the Coles Corner camera. So it's up to the Lake Wenatchee area anyway. And you can see now there is a fire in the White River drainage, but it's way up there. It's burning in tall timber. It's not really in anybody's harm, so they're kind of just keeping an eye on it, but that's why you see considerably more smoke in the Lake Wenatchee area. As far as rain is concerned, if we get any today, it'll be this morning. We have about a 40% chance of rain in the morning hours. By 1 or 2, our chance of rain will go down. In fact, the haze will be breaking up. We'll see a little bit of sunshine later on today. From the National Weather Service, one more look. 83, just about our normal high. Again, any kind of rain, any kind of precipitation would be this morning. 63 for the overnight low. Then a hot stretch for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Into the 90s we go. It's still summertime. And then rain, maybe a good dose of rain on Tuesday. And that would be just what the doctor ordered. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Bye.
Welcome North Central Washington to another exciting episode of Network TV. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, Executive Director of NCW Tech Alliance, where we use this show to spotlight some of the innovation happening across our region, including inside of nonprofits. Today, we're going to shine a light on the heartwarming work being done by the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. In the director's chair for only a few months, Executive Director James Prumfee is already making a powerful impact at the nonprofit. We're excited to highlight Wenatchee Valley